Hey, what's up, Street Talks? It's Eric from the Eric Street Photography blog. Want to do a quick video update, just kind of sharing a little bit what's in my bag. Travels in New York City, shooting with the new Ricoh digital GR, and just kind of some random thoughts. So, just came to New York City last weekend to teach a street photography workshop with Richard Bram from In Public, quite possibly one of the most passionate, humble, down-to-earth, and talented street photographers I know. We did the workshop Friday night, all day Saturday and Sunday, and it was just a really great experience. A lot of the people who came to the workshop kind of came with little experience and kind of wanting to get over their fear of shooting street photography. One assignment I actually had some students do over the weekend, which I actually think is a superb experiment, or not experiment, but just kind of something to try out. It's actually something I learned from Satoki Nagata, a street photographer in Chicago. So pretty much the idea is, I think when it comes to capturing people candidly, sure, that's one of those things that it's a good thing, but at the same time, to build up to that, I think trying to work on taking photos of people, asking for permission is obviously a good idea, because sometimes the fear of getting rejected or even the fear of how people are going to react to us is bad. So I said to the students, one of your assignments is to take photos of 5 people with permission and try to get 5 yeses, and ask for people to take their photo, 5 people, and get 5 rejections. And lo and behold, they tried it out and found that most people actually said yes. And so if you're feeling a little hesitant shooting street photography, it's definitely something you guys should try out. And just kind of going to show you a little bit of what's in my bag. At the moment, rocking the Think Tank Retrospective 7. I've been trying out a lot of bags, but this is the one I've been pretty much using the last, maybe, I don't remember, like close to a year now. Pretty much it's, it's made by Think Tank, and props to them for sending it to me for free. Disclosure there. And it's pretty much the difference between the 7 and the 5 is that the 7 actually has a sleeve for, actually it fits my 11-inch MacBook Air, which I'm recording this on right now, and an 11-inch, and just a regular iPad. Nowadays, don't travel so much with my iPad, but just kind of want to give you guys a look at what I got with me. So, of course, Leica MP, shooting with my 35 Summicron. So, I got that. And just for the weekend, I just brought 2 canisters of film. These little things, you get them from Bellamy. He's starting to make them. These are the, got all my babies in here. Currently shooting with Kodak Portra 400. This stuff is amazing. Some of the best colors I've ever gotten. And also shooting, with my color film, and also shooting a lot with my flash SF2020. I mean, pretty much just shooting a fully manual, just turning it on. ISO 400, shooting in mostly f8. And after that, I just kind of adjust the power based on the distance in which I shoot it. This is actually the second SF20 I've gotten, because the first one I've used it so much that the bulb actually burnt out, so I bought a new one while I was in Tokyo. And people who ask nowadays, I used to shoot a lot off camera flash, because it's something I saw Bruce Gilden and my buddy Charlie Kirk doing a lot. But Charlie saw me shooting with the flash with a wireless trigger, and I'd shoot it head on anyways, so he told me, why not just shoot it head on? And I'm like, that's a good idea. So nowadays, just screw it on, and just, some people were curious about settings. Just set to f8 in terms of shutter speed, 50th of a second, which is the fastest sync speed on Leica. Shooting it just at 400, and pretty much I just shoot it with based on the distance. So at f8, minimum power, it's 1.7 meters. If I adjust it to, if I'm shooting a little bit closer at f11, 1.2 meters, it's gonna be well exposed. And minimum focusing distance at f16, about 0.8, 0.7. So generally that's the settings I use, just fully manual. And this flash is really nice because it recycles super quickly. But the bad thing is that it goes to sleep after not using it for 30 seconds. So you just have to keep pushing the power button. And some people ask what's the difference between the SF20 and the SF24D. The 24D has TTL with the new digital cameras. That's why it's SF24D. And the SF20 was made for the film Leicas, so it actually has TTL metering. It only works with M6 TTL and the M7. It doesn't work with the TTL function. I believe doesn't work with the new Leicas, the new digital Leicas, that is. So that's pretty much my main workhorse. Also my bag, just got external hard drive. I just pretty much use the Western Digital 2.5, like 1 or 2 terabytes. This little case here is cool because travel a lot, this might get bumped. You get this case for like $10 on Amazon. Just holding my little hard drives. Got this cool sticker from Chrome. Make some cool bags too. So I got that. What else do I got in here? Yep, just headphones when I'm on the road. Extra batteries, just portable battery charger. And that's pretty much, oh, shoot, I just got the new GoPro Hero 3. I haven't really had the chance to do much videos, but I mean, of course, all the videos that you guys know and love, this is pretty much the getup I've been doing, but pretty much it's been a pain in the ass to edit in the footage when I'm shooting with film, and I'm also losing the hot shoe mat because I shoot with flash all the time. So got this little new baby right here, the Ricoh GR. Big ups to Ricoh for sending me this unit for me to keep. Pretty much, if you're not familiar with the Ricoh GR, it's I believe the world's smallest camera now. It's a digital camera, APS-C size sensor, and 28mm lens, 2.8 lens, and it's tiny. I mean, this thing could slip into my pocket super easily, and I'm actually going to start doing more videos with this on top of it because you've got the little pop-up flash here. You could just click it here and shoot with the flash here. So hopefully you'll be able to handle my new workflow a little bit better. And so I've been shooting with the last 3 days, and I just got really excited about this camera. I'm generally, I'm pretty blasé about most cameras nowadays, but I've always been a huge fan of the Ricohs. Started with the GR1S and upgraded to the GR1V. And now, this is pretty insane how I could fit such a huge sensor and such a tiny body. And I'll just kind of walk you guys through it in terms of just my thoughts about it and how I use it. When I'm shooting with it, the benefits of it is, once again, it's super ergonomic, first of all, and it has this nice little grip here, so it's super comfortable in the hand. It's got a wrist strap. I learned this from my buddy Daniel Schaefer. You could just, this one for some reason didn't come with one of these locks, so you just kind of wrap your middle finger around, stick it through here like this, and you just have a nice strong grip on it. Little pop-up flash, which is actually surprisingly powerful, and the lens is really sharp. I believe it doesn't have an anti-aliasing filter, so it's even sharper in that regard. And you got all the dials on the top. One nice thing is that there's a little button here, so if you want to change the settings from like P mode, aperture priority, and so forth, you actually have to push in this little button, and so it won't just get knocked in case. Generally, when I'm shooting with the camera, I just keep it on P mode. If you're not familiar with P mode, it stands for just program mode. It's pretty much auto mode, except you could actually adjust the ISOs. Because when I'm shooting on the streets, generally, the only two ways I use this is just pre-focusing it or just autofocus and P mode, and just keep my ISO at like 400 to 1600, depending on how dark it is. And so if I just turn it on, there's a little power button here. Got that little LCD screen here. Whoa! Oh, it's like Inception. It's like a camera in a camera, and you have all the settings and the buttons back here. It's really cool because you're able to program all these different buttons. You got your function 1 button here, function 2 button here, and you could pretty much program it to almost anything you want. Personally, what I use is for the function 1, I'll change that into, let's see, I'm just going to flip through the display settings. So for the function 1, I pretty much change, you can see up here, it says, let's see, it says FS, then S. FS is just autofocus, I don't know what that stands for. S is snap mode, and I generally pre-focus to about 1 meter when I'm just kind of shooting on the streets and I want to take really quick images. Otherwise, I just stick to autofocus. And also, this is a really cool new function of the GR, is that I programmed this so you could actually, in camera, crop from a 28mm to 35mm. I've been shooting with a 35mm focal length for about 6-7 years now, and so even with the 28mm, it's a really nice focal length, because for a compact camera, I can just stick out my hand a little bit closer and it's no problem to frame. But still, there's times that I prefer the 35 focal length, and pretty much, it takes the photo and automatically just crops in this the center of the image. And because it's an APS-C sensor, the files are pretty big. I don't see any real loss in image quality. Also, one really cool thing is they actually changed this, that now with this little button here, you could just by moving it left or right, you can see down here on the bottom, you could actually adjust your ISOs on the fly, which is actually extremely convenient. And also, if you want to change more settings, just push in this button here, and you can see all the settings I have. So pretty much the first setting is my pre-focusing distance, so I have it set to 1 meter. You could do 1.5, 2 meters, and so forth. Also, I shoot with flash slots, so I could have change the flash to manual outputs. What's this? Oh, flash exposure comp. And also you could choose, snap mode here, or just multi-AF, whatever you want. The last one is, it's something called dynamic, I forget what's like, dynamic range or something, but pretty much just prevents you from blowing out highlights when you're shooting with it. And in terms of when I'm shooting, I usually just keep it on P, but if I'm really on the streets and I want to zone focus more, I put to AV mode, set it to about F8, F8 and be there, and set to ISO 1600 and pre-focus it about to 1 meters, and I just click, and it's really fast, responsive. Snap mode has no shutter lag. The autofocus during the day, it's really fast too. I've had a little problems shooting when it's uber dark of something that's really close, but this is still a pre-production model, so I'm sure they're going to fix that. Hopefully they fix that down the road. And people ask me, how is it framing with just using the LCD screen instead of using a viewfinder? Surprisingly, at the end of the day, I prefer using a viewfinder. But if you have a little compact camera, I actually have no problem framing with LCD. If anything, it's more accurate because you know exactly what you're getting. If you're shooting with the Leica, you're shooting through an optical finder, which you look through the finder and you're looking at through here. You're not actually seeing what the lens is getting. So if you focus to something super close, you get parallax error because you're seeing through here, but the lens is down here. So it kind of gets shifted a bit. So I find myself if I need uber nice compositions, I pretty much shoot with this. Also, one great thing about this camera that I actually find myself using a lot is the macro function. So if I want to shoot things really close, I could just put into macro mode, and I think you could focus up to 0.1 meter, which is about 10 centimeters, if my metric system works right. With the Leica, the minimum focusing distance is only 0.7 meters. See here? So if I really want to get close to, taking a portrait of somebody or taking a photo of just some random thing on the ground, it gets really close, which is really great. Also, one just random thing I love about the camera is that it actually comes with a charger, and this is actually a USB cable. It's pretty cool, huh? So this little cable here, I don't believe it's a standard USB plug, but here on the side, you just pretty much pop this open like yay, and here you could just plug this in here and just charge it to you know, you can just plug into your laptop or plug into the wall. And, you know, this is really nice to have, especially you don't have to travel with like 100 different adapters. In terms of the battery life, it lasts me about a full day. I mean, about 300 photos, shoot in RAW. Really nice thing is there's the buffering speed was a little bit slow with the GRD 3 and the 4. Now I just keep snapping away and no issues with the buffer loading up. You know, the LCD screen is nice and big and bright, nothing to complain about in terms of that. And in terms of the ISO, you know, up to 1600, 3200, no problem. I mean, APS-C side sensor. I mean, in the past I've written a lot about, you know, how, you know, film is, you know, what I really enjoy, how digital is dead to me. And even now, I mean, I've just been testing it because I know a lot of you guys out there were really interested in the camera. I mean, I personally was very interested in the camera. I mean, at about 800 bucks, it's not cheap, but at the same time, compared to like an M9, which is like, or not even M9, like digital, like you know, the ME, like 7 grand. I mean, like the Fuji X100S with OMD, which go for about 1,000. I mean, this is $800. I mean, still not cheap, but I think for what you're getting, I mean, you know, something so small. I think this is, you know, the ideal street photography camera, at least for me. A lot of people are like, oh, should I get the new GR? Should I get the X100S OMD? I mean, personally, at the end of the day, it's a personal preference. What's most important to you? If size and, you know, being compact and fitting something to your pocket is important, which is important for me. I like the GR because it just slip into my front jeans pocket. If you like an optical finder, X100S is excellent. And if you want really fast autofocusing speed, the OMD still is faster than the X100S, which is now actually really fast, but I mean, it's still a little faster. And yeah, the autofocus speed on this is superb and everything else. The RAW files are really nice, but I mean, still, I've been trying to post-process my digital GR files to look like my film shots in Portrait 400. Doesn't even get close, really. I mean, the black and whites in this look really, really nice. I mean, if you just post-process using Silver FX Pro 2, I think they look superb. Colors still, I mean, they look pretty good. I mean, part of it maybe is the fact that I don't really know how to post-process them super well yet. Generally, trying to get the colors look nice. I mean, I'm just screwing around with Lightroom presets and stuff like that. But really, at the end of the day, I think, at least for me, color film, I mean, still looks better than digital. But at the same time, this is nice just to take snapshots and stuff like that. And usually I'm just sending test units where I have to send it back. But, you know, once again, Ricoh, thanks guys. Send me this for me to keep, unless there's something I don't know about. But once again, at the end of the day, don't worry so much about the camera. Just shoot with what you have. Be grateful. But at the same time, I mean, if you have a big hulking DSLR and you want to downsize, I mean, for me, this is going to be a great deal. There's really not much I don't like about the camera. I mean, once again, I mean, autofocus speed isn't like the fastest in the world. I mean, certainly a lot slower than the X100S and the OMD. But for me, it's fine. And I'm sure like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line, they're going to put a full frame sensor in this, like the RX1, whatnot. And if you already have, like, you know, a GRD 4 or a GRD 3, I mean, it's really not that different. I mean, if you want to upgrade, that's cool. And then you can just sell your old one and get a new one. But still, the files on the GRD 4s and GRD 3s look superb anyways. And yeah, so pretty much that's just some of my thoughts. I'm going to write a more detailed review, upload some of my test images. And yeah, if any of you guys have any questions, thoughts, feedback, things you'd like to know, let me know. Until then, thanks guys for watching. And yeah, I'm going to be in New York for another day or two. Going to hit up, go back home, and keep you guys updated with everything else. Alright, thanks for watching guys. Peace out.